Okay, so my name is not sure where all this banging's coming from out here. What is it? Yeah. As soon as I opened the door, the banging stopped. And of course, we've got the patrol cars or the patrol vehicles up and down the small dead-end street. See, where basically there's only about 20 houses or something, or 30, 40, or I don't know, but it's a small dead-end street. But you know, you have, see, those are just patrol cars. Watch how this one will back. See, someone going back. See how it just why would any normal vehicle, second one's going to come back. Watch it. See, second patrol car coming back. They're just controlling psychopathic you know, beings inside the vehicles, because basically they're just stalking, patrolling, and watching 24/7, like all day and all night. And here we have a military psychopathic patrolling plane over my head. So there we go. And see how that vehicle has just stopped in the middle of the road there. But anyway, it's a very big van, but I'm getting sidetracked out there. I better, it's just that there was this banging of loud drums coming through the house, and I was just assuming it was coming from across on the other side of the road, because they periodically do that. Basically, it's a continual, it's basically a continual, it's basically an absolute continual, patrol system. In other words, it's all the time. And I have to be very careful of copyright, because I tried to download 2 videos over the last week while the mobile is still working, because if it plays up in any way, I have very little support to fix it up, and I myself do not understand anything about technology or the mobile. Particularly the mobile, like I understand very basic things, and I don't know how to even make phone calls or anything, but I was shown how to download a video a few years ago, and that was it, onto the YouTube, and even that was a problem when I lost the old station or channel or whatever due to circumstances, and then I started up doing this again, even though the old one was not successful, in the sense that I didn't connect with very many people at all, and the little that I did worked against me, which is like a matrix car just went up the side as I said that, because this is total mind control in this area, where every single thing you think and say, they will be trying to combine with their transhumanism. Basically, everyone in the area is what some people would call, they operate for the God entity of this earth, which is like, to put a title on it, we call this being Lucifer, that then became known as Satan, because the diabolical situation was that this being was seen as a being of light that was camouflaging the reality that it was hiding dark secrets of psychopathic insanity and obsessive godlike narcissism towards itself. In other words, it secretly planned on being acknowledged as the one and only God. That type of thing, from what I'm told. Even though, anyway, I won't go into that. But, it's, you know, like as you can see, even though today is relatively quiet, I cannot hear any mechanical work going on, but there was the banging of the drums to sidetrack me, and basically it's a continual controlling system that the android human beings, androids are merely human beings that are technical in nature, or even from a human standpoint, they do not relate to real human life, apart from copying, mimicking, and being a perfect imitation, but they do not experience being human the same way. In other words, basically, you know, they're artificial intelligence, in other words, because they're not, you know, like, unless you think that artificial intelligence is human and not a machine intelligence, you know, because many have said that because they combine with human beings, the transhuman thing, are they, you know, human? But from my observation, yes, they come across as human, but if they are like Lucifer, their god, basically projecting out being a light human being, shall we say, and that's just me putting it to be impressive, because, you know, if I say a light human being or a dark human being, that's just trying to distinguish the difference between being negative or destructive in your nature, as like you know, like the psychopathic nature of the God entity, which is technically what you'd say is insanity. And this was the iniquity. It's essentially insanity, because even psychopathic, narcissistic nature, as they call it, really is just another term for insanity from a human standpoint, because basically, but of course, when I say insanity, that means out of touch with reality. Yes, it's out of touch with human reality, but at the same time, it's not just about being out of touch. It's about being out of touch in a way where, you know, it's not like where you might be seriously depressed and like you lose touch or interest in life, but you're not going to demolish all life. Whereas the psychopathic, narcissistic nature or insanity of the God entity and its disciples, or in all the androids that are in most areas where they make up most of the population, particularly if there are real human beings that that oppose that In other words, just like if you're just a normal human being, you will be opposing them even though you won't intentionally be imposing them. You'll just be doing your own thing, just like I do very little. But just going down the road to pick up supplies or to have a drink or something is because they microscopically analyse everything you're doing, which is why you can't get rid of them out of your sight or your sound. Like, they're literally watching your every little movement, because they're basically insane in the membrane, in their mind, in their brain. They're insane. I'm getting angry here. I shouldn't do this. Shouldn't make a video if I get angry, but even when I just feel their presence around me outside and think about what they do the minute I go outside, like I can still annoyed even from last night when I was coming home, when they're making the lights even more bright and intense on the cars and the vehicles and flashing them at you the minute your eyes go to where you're not allowed a moment's peace on your own. Everywhere you look, you've got flashing lights in your eyes. You've got their presence. They're either walking in front of you. Everywhere your eyes or your sight and sound is literally transhumanism being taken over by these possessed human beings that are simply dead, dark spirits that inhabit the human body, or apparent human body. It's a human body, but it is different from the original man-woman human body, I think. It is a duality body, just as the God entity, Lucifer, that then became known, most people say Satan. That is only because the iniquity or the insanity or the narcissistic psychopathic type of nature. Narcissistic psychopathic nature just simply means the obsession with being obsessed with itself and its need, its obsession with being seen as the best, a god, you see. And, that's essentially what it is. So I'm going to wind this back because I don't want to get up for any more copyright, because I'm losing it here in the sense that the last two videos, and they were both extremely long ones, over 3 hours, which I don't normally do, but I just kept showing some videos and things because I was very familiar with those videos over the last, year or so. And so therefore, when they came up, I just was, because it was quiet, I just kept going, and I was, was showing too much of the videos and basically was copyright on both of them, so I was not able to download them. So now I'm trying again, even though I haven't got much space left on the mobile to, I've got all these, even just these, anyway, I better not go on about the technical problems with the mobile and the situation around. I'm trying to make some sense here, but not able to do it. The cards are very interesting with what they call card readings, or they call them tarot readings. They're the same as they're the equivalent of crystal ball readings that you and I'm certainly not familiar with, but familiar with them only through seeing them in movies, for instance, where you think it's all far-fetched and a bit like magic and that sort of thing, and psychic. See, they're meant to be psychic, but the tarot readers are exactly the same as crystal ball readers, except that they use the cards to read your past, present and future, and even other people that you may be associated with and want to know what their mindset is. And this is the temptation of the tarot. But don't forget that all these kind of things are part of the matrix, or are part, they usually, I'm told, are almost, even though they will talk spiritually and psychically and even be in connection with what they call higher powers and the gods, etc. But exactly what God they really serve is another thing. And of course they will, like I've said, the names will be changed even on the gods. Because if you think that Lucifer is your God, and certainly Lucifer does, control the entire Earth matrix, or the entire Earth, because the Earth is a matrix which this God and its disciples and its followers, all the same thing. Or even if you are a very, even if you're an android being, just by your very nature, if you're a total android being, you will by your very nature be able to be used by this God, even just indirectly, to, to work on its behalf, because just by your nature you will be anti-life or anti-human. You don't like, you don't like to, you will, if you are an android and you observe them in their patrol control system around in the areas where you are, you will see that all they do day and night, all day, is patrol and try to restrict your normal activities. Even if it's only the most simple, mundane thing, they see a threat in it. And basically they don't like you to even have a moment's peace in any way, even to function, just to do basic things. They want the attention and your energy completely on them. That means you don't exist, because they are about control. That way they have control. That's the whole purpose, is to distract you, to take you away from just normally living. This is what happens. This is how I realised this when they came down on me. I couldn't understand it, and that was how I realised that it was about bringing my mood down and making me feel very bad, because I'm like, what other reason could it be? Because I wasn't doing anything, I didn't appear to be doing anything that would be upsetting them or making, these large, excessively large groups of people these, I think maybe it's finished. Oh, wait a minute, I think I've lost the, yeah, I think it's folded up. I ran out of space. Okay. Or have I? Is it still going or not? I'm not sure if it's still going. I got that sign saying that I had to clean up the thing because, oh, wait on, I'm not sure if it's still going. Is it still going or not? So this is all. No, I think it stopped. It stopped.